Shirley and I were out last week, and we were coming down Route 1, and we saw... I just know he's behind me. Jerry, this is his thrift store, and I'm just gonna... Where are you, Jerry?
Over here.
I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about the thrift store. He's a very quiet guy, so
sure,
I'll help him when I can.
You don't believe anything this woman says.
Take it away, Jerry.
Okay, so you are now in down the road Thrift, which is off of US Highway 1. She happened to stumble in here, God knows why. But this is a veterans nonprofit thrift done solely for the purpose of collecting things that can help any homeless veteran that happens to be living out in the woods. Okay? What you're standing in front of, move back a little bit, pan up. Yes, the Foot Locker. There you go. So what this is this is a room that we have designed and built, and it is strictly not for sale. Nothing in here is for sale. Everything is totally 100% free for any homeless veteran that comes through the doors, can prove that he's a vet, and we will bring him in here and let him get whatever he wants. So come on in. Starts. My father here, he was a Korea Vietnam War vet, got out in 76. They wanted to send him over to Germany for another hardship post. He said, nope, that's it, 14 years is enough. So kind of everything that I do originates with him and what he did. And he's no longer with us, but I brought him in here because this is what it's all about. All these guys from the past, this is how everything happens here. So I'm sure my dad would be proud. I hope he is. And I always want him to be a part of the store. So we just shipped out a whole ton of prepackaged food meals. Looks like this. This is food for a day. So there is a little juice box in here. It's got milk, portion of cereal, and then everything in here should be keeping one adult person going for one complete day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 days ago, we shipped about 90 of these up to Scottsmore for school kids. Homeless veterans aren't the only people I try to help. Kids that are on the free lunch programs and don't get fed on Saturday and Sunday because they're not in school, they have nothing to eat. So we found out about it. I have access to more of these, so we went ahead and sent out the whole back end of a PT Cruiser full of these boxes to help these kids get through. So normally they're right over here, and we do have a couple boxes of odds and ends, granola nuts, and these were all FEMA boxes that came in from the hurricanes that were left over by to some other VFWs in the area, and they went ahead and donated them back to us so we can redistribute them back out to the community. So in this Foot Locker, as you can imagine, you know, any guy that's out there on the road and needs clothes, any type of survival gear, we've tried to answer each and every one of those needs. You can see right here we've got sleeping bags, we've got 2 shoe racks full of outdoor and activewear shoes. All of these clothes right here are activewear type clothes: jeans, polo shirts, t-shirts, hoodies. We have some kind of toiletry items up there in the boxes we're going to be making kits for. That's an outdoor unfolding mattress. We also have some laundry detergent, because over in another room we also have a full laundry washer and dryer where these guys can bring their dirty clothes in, wash them up, and if they don't survive the wash, then we bring them in here and set them up with better stuff. As you can see, we've got tons of folded jeans, jackets, flannel shirts. This refrigerator right next to you is constantly stocked with bottles of water, because they come in off the road, they might be thirsty. And then this right here, we have a couple of filing cabinets. We've had people be kind enough to shop on Amazon and Walmart and actually have the stuff shipped to us. So these are filled with brand new bags of socks, underwear. Each one of these drawers contains wrapped goods for these guys. 1 gallon bag contains 5 rolls of socks, and we will send this out to the woods as needed. We've also sent 6-man tents. Down here on the bottom shelf, we've sent out sterno. This whole shelf right here is pretty much all blankets and 1 goat. Yeah. And, you know, aside from the box meals, we do get folks bring in canned goods, dried food. We got some evaporated milk over here. We got some pudding cups, pork and beans. And as you can see, well, I like your beans, can't get into the can. That's where this thing comes in. A little invention that I came up with, because you got these guys out there and they're always on the road and they're always on the go. And a lot of times, some of the things that they get given to them to eat, they can't get into. It requires a can opener. So what we've done here is we've been asking for donations of spoons. And then what we do is we take these spoons and we send them out, and we have a hole drilled in them. See that one? Yeah, there you go. All right. Then we'll take a keychain ring, and we will take what is called a P38, or the military can opener, and we will attach it to the spoon. Now, your guy has everything he needs to get into a can and to eat. So for those of you watching out there, you want to donate some spoons, send them to me. We'll be happy to hook them up like this and give them out to every guy that ever needs anything. And on a serious note in here, because I know I've been a little bit kind of okay, but on a serious note, military dress uniforms. This is a very near and dear subject to my heart here. What you see here is a Master Sergeant military dress uniform. I found this in a Goodwill, and I bought it, which means anybody else can buy it. Nobody has the right to buy these uniforms. You didn't earn the right to wear it by signing up to defend your country. You don't have the right to possess it. So I take a trip down to Goodwill every so often. I have an Army Rangers uniform out in my truck right now. Okay. Anybody wants to drop this stuff off to me, it stays locked up and will not leave the store except for one circumstance, and that's if a family has a funeral need and they don't have a uniform to put their loved one in. I will supply it to them free of charge. But they have to provide the proper documentation that they have the right to have this. Otherwise, no military gear, no military uniforms are ever sold out of the store under any circumstances. For instance, this uniform, this was the first one to be brought to our locker. Notice the big red one. Any of you out there, military, you understand exactly what that is. You know what it is that I've got here, okay? True story about this uniform. Some folks that have a shop from us down Highway 1 were in here shopping, and they heard me talking to some people about what we do here. They came back the next day and they brought me this uniform. This, the pants, and the hat. And it had price tags on it. They put it in my hands, and then they stripped the price tags off and said, after we heard what you said yesterday, there is no way that we feel good about selling this, so we want you to have it, and we want you to keep it locked up until it's needed. And we need more people like that out there. So for all of you watching this, keep that in mind, and know that you can trust me with this stuff if you should decide to bring it down here. All right, so to paraphrase an old phrase that I heard in a movie once, I love the smell of mothballs in the morning. Welcome to the madness that is this thrift store. You'll see clothes, you'll see electronics, you'll see toys. Oh, look, there are shoppers over there in the corner. Look at that. There they are. Yeah, those two. They're smiling because they know they got caught. Okay. And then we got, oh, look, what is this? What is that?
I'm in love with this chair.
She's in
I
love
don't
with
have
that
to do
chair.
anything.
No, she doesn't. She just gets to sit there and smile. I'm doing all the work for her
You're
video.
doing all the work
I want
today.
my cut. I want my cut.
Glad to see you opened up. It used to be a casino, but now it's a thrift store that is very functional. A lot of material here, and just obviously he's in the process now of unloading a lot of the material that's been volunteered to him, but the whole project is excellent. The purpose of it, particularly for helping veterans that are finding difficult trying to make it, this is the first place to go in the sense of if you need some help. He's excellent in the sense of what he's chosen to do and the objective behind it.
Place up into different sections, so and we try to set it up as if, like in the furniture, this is how it might look when you walk in and your couch and your love seat, and yeah, couch and love seat, there we go. However, because we've gotten swamped with so many donations, it's not exactly what I call haphazard. It's chaos with a purpose. But we have just been annihilated with donations over the last few days, and this place is just constantly getting filled up. But with the thrift store, a lot of people don't understand and don't realize everything in here comes with a story. Okay? Now, you may be able to get the shot, but right over here, this orange plaid rocker, okay? And just bear with me here. There's this television set right here. Now, this TV and this rocker used to belong to a gentleman. I'm not going to put his name out there. But he was a PhD scientist who accomplished sending most of these people into space. Okay? And he did it all mostly with a drafting board and a T-square. Now, if you can think about what kind of technology it takes to accomplish that feat, and all the technology was around him, why would this chair and that TV still be in his house? You obviously can tell how old it is. Why would he still keep it? And why does it still work? This was this man's life. He sat down in this chair and he watched that television. You know, and this is everything that at the end of the sale, the kids decided they didn't want and would throw it away. So I took it and I brought it here, and I, at one point, had his entire living room set up right here. And if you look around this place, you'll see couches, you'll see tables, and you ask yourself, how many holiday meals were eaten at this table before it came here? How many times they unwrapped Christmas presents on his couch? It's not just a bunch of merchandise. It's not just a bunch of stuff to go shove into your house. This whole place is filled with a ton of other lives. So you got to have a kind of a healthy respect for it if you expect to succeed in this place.
I found it.
You've gotten yourself a fiddle.
I just found it last
You found a fiddle.
One hot cowboy. Look at that.
You got yourself a place like this is you wind up getting customers coming in here, and after they've heard the story a couple dozen times, they figure, you know what, maybe we want to help out. Such is the case here. This is Alex, this is Steph, and that's Kenny. Kenny's still alive. Okay? They have decided to come down here on a otherwise busy day in their lives, you know, and give some of their time on a weekend of all times, and come in here and help me make sense of this whole mess, because again, we got bombarded probably 4 or 5 house loads of furniture inside of 2-3 days. So it's always good to have help.
Finding goodies.
All right, so we're outside the thrift shop now because it's kind of busy in there with everybody doing their thing. And replaced appliances like stoves, refrigerators, microwaves, We've even had a hot water heater installed for a Gulf War vet. Living conditions were, we'll call it, not exactly up to the quality of life that a man who risked his life for his country should be.
Just had one.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that
She looks like the granola type, doesn't she? Go ahead.
What I wanted to say that I notice a lot when I come here. I've been here a few times, and I'm sure I'll be here a lot more. And I'm coming back to help out a bit. But anyways, what I was going to say is I notice that a lot of people, you say you've been to their house, taken away stuff, and they come right back to buy.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they sure do. When I go to their house and I take stuff out of there, all of a sudden they have space. So they come by here and they buy somebody else's stuff. It's literally happened. I've left their house in the morning with a couch and a couple of chairs. They come by and grab a table and some books and some clothes, and yeah.
I myself have 4 boxes in the car for him. And a whole bunch of stuff Bobby's got behind the table for me to buy.
And now, yes, there's more stuff at the counter she's fixing to swap out. Yes. So for all you out there that have seen this video and you feel compelled to do something, our address is 4657 South US Highway 1, Rockledge, Florida, 32955. We have a downtheroadthrift.org ORG webpage. Donations can be sent to that as well. And if any of you saw my little thing over there in the Foot Locker about military uniforms, if you wish to ship military uniforms here, you can ship them to that address. Any insignia, any pins, any medals, anything like that can all be sent to me, and they will be kept under lock and key until such time as a family may need them. And if you happen to have a picture of a family member that's wearing a military uniform and you want me to memorialize them on the walls of the Foot Locker, make a photocopy, put it in an envelope, send it here, and we'll put it in an 8x10 frame. And we'll hang it on the wall outside. You may have seen a long picture in there. That was a Naval Boot Camp graduation picture from 1941. So we all know what happened to most of those guys pretty soon after that picture was taken. Anybody that goes in there needs to understand that there are veterans out there that they may never meet, may never know their name, but them and their descendants, families, are all still pulling for all of our brothers and sister vets out here that are still needing help. Okay? So if you want to send, you got the information. If you're local here in Rockledge, get down here and shop. It's a thrift store. It's cheap. But come down here and support a worthy cause. Thanks.
But it's a really, really good. What outtake? You kidding? So Shirley and I were coming down Route 1 last week in Rockledge, and we saw a grand opening sign, and we popped in. The place is called find something at Down the Road Thrift. Constantly tape because the best things happen.
And that's what he's doing right now. So ready?
Wait.
What's he doing?
You first.